come on in and take a load of, as today I'll be unboxing and taking a first look at The Devil's Toupee from Tiny Battle Publishing. It is designed by my good pal Hermann Luttmann. So pull up a chair and let's get on to it. Howdy, gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host. So, do want to point out that usually I do my unboxings and reviews, things like that, on my live weekday show, or I should say weeknight show, The Daily Dope, which is Monday through Fridays, airing live on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. But I do have some smaller footprint games that I got both before Gen Con and at Gen Con, and I'm going to shoot some standalone videos, because normally on the Daily Dope, I like to devote about 20 minutes, 30 minutes to a game, and these are just smaller games, so I'm going to shoot standalone videos for them. So I am going to start off with The Devil's Toupee, which is the first day at Gettysburg. It's from Tiny Battle Publishing. As I mentioned, it's designed by my good pal Hermann Luttmann, with artwork provided by Jose R. Farah and Rick Barber. The game is for 2 players, ages 9 and up, which seems a little low for a conflict simulation, but I don't know. It does play in around 2 or more hours. I believe it's 2 to 4 hours, and it does carry an MSRP of $45 from Tiny Battle Publishing. So let's move on over to the other camera. And I do want to point out, I still have that con crud floating around from Gen Con. Well, actually, I've got it from the San Diego Comic-Con, and it just never seems to go away. But we're going to take a look at The Devil's Toupee. Let's flip this on over. Let's get rid of the shrink. Now, I do want to mention, this is the first boxed game from Tiny Battle Publishing. Normally we see their game titles come in Ziploc bags, but this is the first box game from Tiny Battle. It says The Devil's Toupee is a game depicting not only the actual events of the first day at Gettysburg, but also what could have happened on that fateful day. Players command either Confederate forces of Lieutenant General A.P. Hill and Lieutenant General Richard Ewell, or the Union forces of Major General John Reynolds and Major General Oliver Howard. The Devil's Toupee is a new version of the blind sword system, emphasizing ease of play, accessibility, and chaotic historicity, while utilizing a unique chit pull mechanic that will keep players on their toes. So, those of you who are familiar with the blind sword system that Hermann has released some games, I want to say, I believe through Revolution Press, this is going to be a little bit different because this is a smaller footprint game than those. So let's open this up, take a peek, see what we've got. So first off, we've got 6 six-sided dice. So we've got 2 white, 2 black, 2 red. We've got our rule book. Oh, looks like this is dinged in a little bit here. So we got the rule book. Looks like we've got player aids. We got a map. I'm sure we got some counters. So first off, let's take a look at the rules. So really nicely presented here right off the bat. Looks like we're going to have some nice images. Production quality's a little different than what we're used to seeing from Tiny Battle. It's a little more splash of color here. So it's talking about the game components, talking about the counters, talking about different markers, sequence of play, advancing the game, the turn marker phase, command decision phase, special artillery activation phase. We've got the chit draw phase. Different fog of war chits as well. Activation phase. Giving orders. Then we've got fire combat. We've got the combat result tables here, which I'm taking a guess will probably also have player aids for as well. So it said ages 9 and up. I don't know. We got a lot of rules here. I'm not sure if 9-year-old kids are going to be able to jump right on into this. But I do understand that this is a pretty light system, pretty easy to get into. So now we've got assault combat. Got the assault combat results table as well. Talking about rally phase. And then the end phase. So we've got a tutorial scenario. We've got the main scenario. And that is that. So we've got another play aid on the back as well. So those are the rules. The rules clocked in at 35 pages here. So quite a lot to digest. Not for most wargamers. I mean, 35 pages is a walk in the park for most wargamers. So those are the rules there. Now let's take a look to see what else we've got in the box here. So we've got the Union player aid. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here. There we go. So we got the Union player aid here, showing the sequence of play, fog of war, command table, the orders, rally phase, break tests, panic test. And then we have what each of these event shits look like they represent. And then we've got movement and stacking, telling us the different movement points required for various terrain that the units will move through. I believe this is a brigade level as far as the counters, the units that we'll see. So then we've got a combat result table here. So this is a player aid for both of the players. So they're showing weapon ranges, fire combat cohesion, assault combat, some other tables as well down in here. Nice card stock. So these should hold up to repeated play. All right, then we've got our Confederate player aid. So once again, kind of just repeating some of the information that we had on the Union card. And then we get the Confederate event shits, as well as the movement and stacking as well. Then we get an order of battle card, showing the Confederates as well as the Union troops. And then we've got our counters. We've got two counter sheets, and looks like the bottom part of this counter sheet here, or I should say the top part, was cut off. And we've got three counters that popped out right away. So I'll take a look at those in just a second. So let's take a look at the Union counters here. Get a little closer in. So it does look like, well, maybe this is regimental level. That's possible that each of these represents a regiment. So cool artwork. I like the artwork on these. So we've got some cavalry, we've got artillery. It's like dismounted cavalry. Then we've got some of these shits here. Then down here, looks like we've got some of the events. I believe these are the event shits for the Union player. Flip these over, it looks like we've got a reduced state on the back. So it looks like we've got a little bit of a step reduction for these. Just kind of going through these. So I'm wondering if these counters here represent morale. Because we're seeing superior, average, good, poor, good, average, poor. I'm not sure. So we've got that counter sheet there. Then, as I mentioned, looks like a production issue here because this top part is just gone. It's not in the box. So we do have some of the counters here that popped off. So we've got those. So we're not missing any counters. And counter thickness is decent. It's what we've come to expect pretty much from Tiny Battle Publishing titles. So we've got the Confederates. Once again, we're showing, like I said, I'm wondering if this is morale. Got some additional counters here. We've got Game Turn, Fog of War, Friction of War. We've got appear to be the Confederate events as well. Got some shaken markers. And as before, these are dual-sided. Taking a peek through. So we've got the 2 counter sheets. And then we've got what looks to be a pretty cool illustrated map. So let's unfold this. I'm going to zoom back out. It looks like this might take up some space here. Yep. All right. So we've got Gettysburg right here, kind of in the lower center. Kind of cool. I like how the map is illustrated, almost like a map of the day would be. So that's pretty cool. Looks like we've got a time track down here from 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. Very cool. Very nice. All right, so that is the map. So let's fold this on back up. So we've got the paper map. It's got a bit of a finish to it, so that's cool. So we got the paper map. We've got the 2 counter sheets. We've got the order of battle sheet here. We've got the Confederate player aid. We've got the Union player aid. We've got the combat result tables for both players. And we've got the 35-page rule book, as well as 6 six-sided dice. And that is what we find when we take everything from the Devils to Pay the first day at Gettysburg outside the box. Now, of course, I will have a review of the Devils to Pay in the very near future. It will no doubt be featured on one of my Wargame Wednesdays on the Daily Dope. So there you have it for this time out. So once again, don't forget to catch me live here on YouTube Monday through Fridays with the Daily Dope airing at 7 p.m. Central Time. And as I like to say, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. By now you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. I'll see you next time, and until then, happy trails.